Okay, today's lesson is on writing and evaluating expressions. And we're going to start with evaluating expressions. And basically, first thing we need to remember is an expression just has numbers and variables and at least one operation. This one actually has two operations. These next to each other mean I'm multiplying them. And then this slash is for division. And so when they tell me to evaluate this, all they are telling me to do is plug in 6 for the p and tell me what the answer would be if you follow the order of operations. So in other words, this problem becomes 8 times 6 divided by 3. Multiplying and dividing are in the same, go together in order of operations, so I just go left to right. 8 times 6 is 48. And so I divide 48 by 3, and I will get 16. So when I evaluate 8p divided by 3, when p is 6, my answer is 16. On the bottom here, another problem. I have two letters to substitute in for, two variables. So all I'm going to do is plug in for both of them. So I have 12 times 6 plus 6 times 5. And now I follow the order of operations. I'll multiply first, and that gives me 72 plus 30. And then when I add those up, I get 102. So when I evaluate that expression, my answer will be 102. Now I also need to be able to write expressions. And so you had these in your notes today. These are keywords that tell me what operation I'm looking at. So I see words like sum, plus, more than, greater than, increase, increase by, total, and any form of the word addition. That tells me that for that word problem, I'm going to need to add. If I see the words difference or minus, less than, decrease by, any form of the word subtraction, I know I need to subtract. If I see the words product, times, multiplier of, I'll be multiplying in that problem. And quotient, divide, or the word per tell me that I am going to be dividing in that problem. So all I have to do is pick out the key word and then set up my expression. So the first one here says the quotient of a number and 3. If I want to write that out in algebra, I know the quotient means to divide. And where I see the words a number, I'm going to be putting in some variable. And I can use whatever I want. I'll use x. So I'm dividing x and 3. And so the way I write that, whenever I'm writing division for algebra, I'm going to write it as a fraction. So in this case, I will write it as x over 3. Now over here, it just says a number multiplied by 9. So again, where I see the word number, I'm going to put some variable in, and I'm multiplying by 9. Now an important thing, when I'm writing multiplication in algebra, I always write the two parts just next to each other. And when I have a number and a variable, I will always write the number first to show multiplication. So in other words, this one I would write 9y. So those are the two key things to remember when you're writing algebra. Division is always written as a fraction. And when I'm showing multiplication, I will always put the number in front of the variable.